8,235 pounds, a big, park-kept, triple slide entry-level starter class bunkhouse just came in here at Heartland RV of Coldwater, Michigan. One owner, not used a whole heck of a lot. That's kind of the whole history of this one. It's been towed maybe 100 miles its entire life, guys. It's just mostly been sitting in one place, and as they upgraded their house, they found out they just camped less and said, we don't need this anymore. That's the only reason she's here. Now, when pretty much any time you've got opposing slides in an island, it is going to kind of pinch you off right here. This is a common thing I see with this floor plan across pretty much any manufacturer who builds a layout like this. So it's not really worse than anyone else in that regard. This is most definitely a floor plan that is designed for destination use rather than travel friendliness. Now, the big bonus signature calling card of this one right here is that you have this big living space with these dual opposing slides. That kitchen slide, it opens up enough room for the island there. It increases your total prep and storage space, which is fantastic. The skylight above lets in some extra natural ambient light. On a rainy day, the kids have an awesome, like, full private rear bunk / second living room that they can enjoy while mom and dad are out here. And we'll come back to take a look at it, but what's neat is you've got an entertainment center directly across from a sofa here. And what's also nice is the entertainment center is out of the way of the foot traffic from the entry door. So as people come and go, they're not constantly walking past you, so you don't have to do that like head duck maneuver to see on both sides of them, you know. Again, the moral of the story on this one is they weren't using it. It's been park kept most of its life. It's been park kept at two different local parks here. This is locally purchased, and we're selling it for the local owners. They did some updates to their house, like added a swimming pool, and they found out they enjoyed hanging out on the back porch in the swimming pool, and they weren't camping anymore. So they didn't see the sense in, you know, having this giant camper sitting there racking up payments. Now, these island kitchens, they're going to just net you a ton of storage space. This is something that back before it was called the Heartland Prowler, it was called the Heartland Trail Runner, basically. That's kind of the skeleton where this came from, and we were a trail runner dealer for a lot of years. So I know my way around this trailer pretty well. I know how it's put together. I know what it does. The thing here is that they've always been very good at giving you a lot of good dry storage space. And little things like this, most brands above the refrigerator, they'll just put a Luan panel there and block that off, because this is a 6 cubic foot fridge. There's room for an 8 here within a standard slide. So instead of wasting it, they put a little bit of storage up there, and it shocks me how many brands will waste that. Now again, over here in the kitchen slide, you've got that nice chunk of prep space to the right of the stove. Most of us are right-handed, and that makes a right amount of sense to me. You've got outlets on both sides of the island with your little prep space wings on both sides of that as well. Now, similar floor plans, say like from J-Flight or Cherokee that we'd sell every day here at Heartland RV, they would have drawers here. And you notice this does not. It's not wasted space. They didn't, make a huge error. There's an outside mini fridge under that countertop because the outside fridge is easier to access, and it helps offset the 6 cubic foot fridge that we have here. So you have, like, your drinks are stored outside, your food is stored inside. But it's easy to forget that right next to the entry door, we have this even larger pantry. This is even greater cubic foot of storage space as compared to what we originally saw by the kitchen, with a little bit more storage right there under the main TV area. So overall, you can really pack this one up pretty hard and heavy. And what's kind of cool is the kitchen's not done yet, because we haven't even looked at the storage in the kitchen. Like, so far, you haven't seen any drawers until now. Obviously, this has drawers right where you need them, and I do like how they're plywood boxed. A lot of Heartland products will have particle board drawers with a sticker wrap on them. And frankly, guys, there's nothing necessarily wrong with that, but plywood drawers are just known for holding up a little bit longer, and you've got a huge space there for wastebasket. Now, your dinette here can fold down into an additional sleeper space, and this is one of my favorite ways to do a dinette, is I like a booth dinette with a free-floating chair, personally. Now, my wants, needs, and desires might change, and I do see why other dinette systems are cool, but I like this because you can sit 4 people here, you can still sleep someone here if you need to, there's storage below the seating that a freestanding table loses, but I can still scoot the chair, or the table away from me and kind of cheat the table over toward my smaller wife and child, whereas I'm a little bit too big around the midsection, I am willing to admit. This free-floating table can also float outside. Now, you notice how there's windows all over. The side slide windows don't open for ventilation. This is definitely more like a true entry-level, base-level camper. There's nothing wrong with that. At the same time, it's not going to cost you extra money compared to the heavy loaded-up models that could be out there. Now, I've got this in daytime mode currently, but if we take a look, you see how that overhead bed right there can actually fold down, and the lower kid dinette can actually fold down as well to create an additional sleeping space right there. Now, one more thing this bunkhouse does for us, starting up top in that cabinet, if we take a look, we've got good dry storage built right into this bunkhouse here, including additional storage space under that dinette as well. So there is full storage below both dinettes, and both dinettes have those free-floating tables, of which I am a personal fan. You do have TV hookups on the rear wall there, and that little mini sort of entertainment stand, if you will. Now, as opposed to a lot of models that will have like an extra large outside kitchen over here, this one has a pair of what I call big kid bunks, where they're a little bit wider than a traditional bunk. It looks like these all have tags for 200-pound capacities. So a longer kid can kind of sleep on an angle on these things right here. Spinning us around a little bit, we've got just a quick look at the living area from the other way. Let me pan around from the door so you get the whole perspective. And you see how that TV is kicked on a crazy angle. The TV is very easy to view whether you're in the kitchen, whether you're at the dinette with the family, whether you're sitting on the sofa. It's what I call a no-neck wrecker, and that is a DVD system below. Not Bluetooth or anything like that. I'm trying to look. I think this is a 2014, and that's right before a lot of the Bluetooth stuff made it into the more base-level entry market. One quick note, guys. If I see something, I say something. I spotted it. I don't think it's major. I found a couple of those little telltale braille bumps right here. So at some point it looks like there was a brief moment of water penetration. There's the slightest of crowns on the floor here as a result. But there is, I mean, there's nothing to be worried about. This is fine. If you've never camped before, this isn't one that's going to like give you fits like, oh my god, I didn't know what I was buying here, nothing like that. It's there, but guys, I guess, how can I describe it in a way that makes more sense? If you were buying a 2014 used car and it had a ding on the bumper, that's kind of what we're looking at here. It's not the end of the world sort of thing. It's there, so you deserve to know about it, but I also think I've already talked more about it than I really need to. I don't believe it's, you know, a deal breaker. Corner shower instead of a tub, and notice how the bathroom's located up next to mom and dad's room instead of back by the kids. That's something not all bunkhouses will give us. And I do like that porcelain stool with all the legroom right there. That is something that's very nice. Now the bedroom up front is simple, but simply effective. Again, this is a good base level, casual camping, starter class camper. And there is storage below the bed. You've got the big wide side stands, the hanging wardrobes on both sides. But what is nice, a lot of basic entry-level campers will not give you an overhead shelf or a cabinet above the bed, just a shelf. And you can stuff a lot more in a cabinet than you can just sort of pile onto a shelf. And the extra skylight and vent up here in the bedroom is excellent for getting some good cross breezes. And in case you're curious, if you are interested, you can add a TV here to the bedroom, although it doesn't look like anyone ever has. So you've got virgin wall panels. Again, it's not that it was abused. It just wasn't used. That's the only reason this one's here. Now, I had a decent amount of storage dust on the outside of her when she first came in, so the folks actually had our team go through and had our wash bay folks do a once-over on it. And, man, I mean, this thing looks brand new sitting here. You wouldn't even realize it was the same trailer from when it came in. It is clean, it is shiny, it is ready to rock and roll. Like I said, it is a simple entry class type camper, you know, not all kinds of sizzle and crazy upgrades, but that's also what's helping you on the price tag not get zinged too hard. Thankfully, it does have an enclosed belly, so that will help, if nothing else, like these folks had at Park Gap, that will help with critter prevention. When you're going down the road, the extra protection down there is great. And it does form something of a dead air pocket, so that if you, if temperature does dip down below freezing overnight, it'll give you that extra little cushion to make sure you have time to get it winterized the next day. No special heavy-duty insulation package or anything applied to this one. This would be excellent if you have the truck to pull it, you've got a big family, or you've got a big site and you just want that extra space and the privacy from all the bedrooms. The awning on this, it does extend over that kitchen slide, but people don't realize that, the question is always immediately, oh man, isn't that eating up my campsite space? And not much, really. You'll put your picnic table under the slide. You see there's that outside fridge mounted right in the face of the kitchen slide, which is very uncommon with this layout. But you have a gas grill quick connect over here. Not 100% of people are super keen on the whole outside kitchen concept, and that's where this one can kind of come into play. The tires look good. Awning looks real good, especially now that we went through and washed it all out. The roof looks good. I guess if I'm going to try to be nitpicky, the only thing I can say is that something caught the skirting right here, and there's a couple spots there with little scuffs, but other than that, guys, and to me, again, that's no different than like, if you're buying a used car and there's a little ding on a fender. It's purely cosmetic, and it certainly doesn't hurt that car going down the road, just like that little scratch there is not going to hurt this camper going down the road or being functional at your family's campsite. So give us a call. Hitching, pieces, parts, trades, financing, truck and trailer package deals, RV delivery, and everything between. We do it all. So take care, stay safe, have fun, and happy camping, everyone.